And we're live.
Hey guys, it's your boy Reggie with RTJR Productions, and today I'll be filming another episode of ScreenFax. And today's topic will be establishing your own business and brand and being your own boss. And today I have a special guest, a really good friend of mine. I met her at OSU. We took many classes together. She's now an alumni. She just graduated recently, so congrats. But my friend Aja Miyamoto. Hey Aja, how you doing?
Hi, so nice being here. Thanks for having me, Reggie.
No problem. I definitely had to have you on here, man. But if you want to give some background information about yourself, like where you're from and passions, where you went to school before and everything.
Yeah, definitely. So I was born in Marysville, Ohio, so just about 30 miles northwest of Columbus, pretty close to the Honda plant. I grew up most of my life here in Columbus. My mom owned her own small business in Grandview, so it was pretty cool just seeing my mom have a business. I originally wanted to study law, which brought me to an interesting point of my life when I realized that wasn't for me, but more to come there. And Reggie and I met while I was going to Ohio State, so that was pretty cool. We actually, even though we were both journalism majors, we met in a poli-sci class.
What was the professor with John Harding? Yep.
Yeah. I don't even remember. I think it was like American politics or I think it was all about like bipolarization or something.
It was something crazy. I took another class with him, but
yeah.
He was an interesting professor. But if you want to go more into information or more into depth on your business and when you got established and everything.
Yeah, definitely. So I started my business. My business is called Opanova, or more known as Opanova Digital today. I started in 2018. That's when I filed for my LLC, became more official. So really what I do is, it started with just working on websites and has now moved on to SEO, which is search engine optimization, and ad campaigns. So a lot of digital marketing. I kind of stay away from social media. I like to do more of like the technical development side of things. But what you'll find is all of this realm of digital marketing, there's so many different ways you can go, and one expert in digital marketing can have a complete different understanding than different.
No, I was talking to you a couple of days ago about, you said you now have a graphic designer part of your team now?
Yes, yeah. So that was a big struggle in the beginning of not having like a solid design background. So my background is in journalism. I'm a writer. I'd like to say I know good design, but I don't have that solid set of skills of people who've spent thousands and hundreds of hours on Photoshop and Premiere and all of these editing software that I do not know. So finally I have a graphic designer on board, and that has been amazing. So it's been cool to grow my team and have people who are better at things that are my downfalls. That's been really cool.
True. Especially since the only experience we really got was multimedia journalism.
Exactly. Yeah. Multimedia journalism is a lot different than website design and development.
That's definitely true. So what would you say was the key motivation for even starting your business and growing it to the level that it is now?
I'd say like number one would have to be just having, both of my parents were entrepreneurs in their own way. So my mom had a consignment store where she had myself and my 3 older siblings. That's basically where we were raised. So she couldn't work a normal job having 4 kids. So she had her store and would do things of, she would resell children's clothes, and had her store that would be a safe place that we could grow up and be. And my dad built computers. So that's kind of where I got the tech side of it. I was like helping my dad build and take apart computers at like 5 and 6 years old. So it was definitely good to be in, like, grow up in an environment where both of my parents had this kind of like idea of this side hustle type style of life before that was more common as it is now. So both my parents always just enforced me to do what I want and find a path that fulfilled me. And that's kind of, I spent a while working in law and then in corporate sales life, and that, I think just being in situations that were not a good fit for me was enough motivation to make something that was a great future and like something that I would be fulfilled going to work every day and not sitting in a desk. Like I really enjoy working with music on. So I didn't realize that was like such a problem of like, oh, if I'm in this office with tons of other people, I can't play music. I have to wear headphones and like that. There's a lot of things that I didn't like about like what else is out there that inspired me to create my own line of work and business.
Gotcha. So you just named so many benefits of
so many things.
But I know that there had to have been some difficulties when you're establishing your own brand. What would you say that you definitely faced in those times?
Well, I guess it's like starting from the beginning, like you kind of get on this idea of like, I want to do this, I want to start a business. It's really easy to like think in your mind, like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make so much money off of it. But that's kind of the beginning of where things start. One of the things that I've seen, like so many of my friends who are entrepreneurs struggle with in the beginning is like, one, there's all these ads and like sponsored things out there in the world that are telling you like, you're not doing your business right, or you should be making 6 figures in your first month. And like, one, that's not realistic at all. But they're also kind of like purposely implanting this seed in your mind that like, you're not doing things correctly, or that there is one way of doing things. So that's like beginning challenges are like those types of things that are out there, and also self-doubt. But like as I grew my business, and like to this day, some of the hardest things are just like building systems and processes, working with people, communicating, follow up, like being in charge of all of these things happening and like knowing what or when to do. So that has taken me like, so I'm going on in October of this year, it'll be marketing year 2 of having my business. And like the amount of times that I question my own business or my own website is like so much more than when I'm helping other people. Like it's really a very personal thing to have your own business, and like you're essentially putting yourself and your ideas out there, and that's really scary.
Gotcha. So with that being said, what would you say are the true keys to establishing your business, and what advice would you give to someone who's fresh off and like, I want to have this freedom of myself? And what would you say to that person?
Well, first I would say like have your ducks in a row. Like one, you have to kind of decide like, how am I going to make money, even like in the start of your business, because it's very low chance in your first week or your first month, or sometimes even in your first year, that you're going to profit. So you have to have that backup plan. For me, mine was serving. So I was waitressing and serving tables nights, weekends, while going to school, while starting my business, because I knew like I can't rely on this new idea to support me financially. So in that area, just have some type of backup plan. 2, have some sort of discipline. Like I think one of the hardest things was going to college and being in class and then studying all day, working nights, then having my own business. And like there's a lot of things I had to say no to, or like things that I wanted to do, but I wanted to wait. Like studying abroad seemed impossible at the time, but like putting that time and effort in my business could allow me to, instead of study abroad, like travel abroad with the future, or find a client like that. Like there's a lot of things that I had to, I think like one of the biggest things is thinking about the opportunity cost of like, when I had my business, I knew that like I was constantly like rushing around and in school and like multitasking, or like skipping class someday because I had to do things for my business, and constantly weighing out like, what's the best thing for me to do now, or what's going to be that best investment. Definitely good things. Like if you're having a business, you have to balance and manage that schedule with discipline. And I'd say like these 2 kind of things go like in line with each other. One, like good communication skills, being able to follow up with people, and like not taking it personally when people maybe don't do things in the way that you want or expected. Like when I was starting my business, there's a lot of people that I like reached out to, wrote proposals for, pitched to, that like I didn't hear back from immediately. And there's definitely a part of me at that time like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Like I'm not doing this right, I'm not good enough. But then they end up following up a couple months later. Like everyone has their own thing, and like they express that through their business. So time just became different. Like, time isn't 9 to 5 Monday through Friday when you have a business. It's 24/7. And sometimes you hear from people that you haven't heard from in months, and like just something crazy happened and they couldn't follow back with you. And that's just kind of how it is, like not taking those type of things personally.
Gotcha. Well, for my final question, there was an article that you sent me, and turns out your grandma's some kind of celebrity in some ways.
Yeah. She never called herself that, but now she really has become a celebrity. So anyone, if you've lived in Columbus for some time or your family has, there's this restaurant on the east side called the Kahiki, which was a Polynesian inspired, not just like tiki bars, an entire restaurant, like this giant boat shaped building. And my grandmother turned out to be kind of a Kahiki girl, bartender, did a little bit of admin stuff there. And I didn't find out about it until after she passed away, and I found all these scrapbooks of her with like Betty White and Jack Carson and like all of these amazing people, which just like blew my mind. And kind of finding that gave me some inspiration of like, I want to do something more and I want to create an impact. And like, I just saw the way that this restaurant did that in Columbus and continues to do today.
Mm-hmm. That's really dope. If you want to check out that article, I'll leave a link to it in the description. I think it's was it columbusneighborhoods.org?
Yeah, Columbus Neighborhoods through WSU.
Gotcha, I'll have that link. But if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Definitely want to get this out there. Many people want to become entrepreneurs, and Aja definitely has some really good tips for you. Hope you guys learned a lot. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll get back in contact with Aja. She'll let me know what answers she has, and I'll have them back to you whenever you want them, or whenever you get them. But it's been another good episode of ScreenFax. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you for having me, Reggie.
Really appreciate it. I'll definitely have you on again. We got some other stuff.
Yes, definitely. That's so cool.
And remember, guys, no matter where you go or what you're doing, the camera is always rolling. See you next time.